we're back on the vlogs. We didn't film last week.
No, we've been doing a bit of DIY and just general maintenance around the house, but we're back in action this week.
Yeah, it's nice actually to have a little break, because I think sometimes it's kind of just filming every week and trying to mix it up, I suppose, a little bit, and not trying to do all the same things. But yeah, the kitchen is a bit of a mess. So this is all the tools and all the stuff that we normally keep in our utility room cupboard. So one of the jobs we've been doing is replacing the sink in here. So the sinks that we had were like these awful, like brown, I don't even know what they are, like composite kind of material. So we wanted to replace those. So we've started with this one in here. We need to go and get a few bits to finish it off, so we're going to do that.
And it is the royal week because she's been doing it all.
I've been doing that, but I've been doing other things.
I was going to say,
yeah.
In my defence, I've been doing other things. We find that with DIY, we're better to do things apart.
Yeah, there's no arguments then. And you're better at things like gardening and whatever than me anyway.
Yeah.
So, but we've done a lot of painting as well in the house, just little jobs that I suppose 3 years into living here were things that were kind of starting to build up a little bit, so we've managed to get on top of them. So we're going to treat ourselves to lunch today as well. It's not all hard work. So where are we going?
We're going to go up to Corralejo because we've not been there for a while, and there's plenty of lunch spots there. One in particular that we want to try, so let's see if we can make it on time.
Made it to the plumbing aisle, but they haven't got what we want.
No.
This is typical of here. So most of these boxes are all empty. So you may have to go somewhere else.
They have deliveries about once a year.
Probably. We've come to Saavedra instead, which is our usual go-to place, isn't it, rather than Ideal. I think it's a little bit cheaper here, quite a big selection.
This is the DIY Mecca.
The DIY Mecca, that's quite a claim.
Yeah.
So they've got two separate bits, so they've got a little plumbing shop and painting shop, and then the main huge place is in there, so we're going to need to go in both, but let's see if we can get the plumbing bits first. Oh, this place has got loads, but no push fit, which I was hoping would be a little bit easier. So we're going old school. Solvent weld and a normal one.
I don't know what that means, but I'll agree.
Right, we made it into Corralejo. Don't know about you, but I'm quite hungry. I always say this on the vlog.
Well, yeah, I'm always hungry.
At least I'm not hungry. You get the hungriness.
Yeah.
I just get hungry. Where are we going?
We're going to a little Italian place, Dauli.
Dauli. We've never been there before, but no. you found it. It looks quite good, so yeah, let's give it a try.
Very, very pleased with myself. Yeah.
You seem to have managed to choose a really good place again. Where did you find this TripAdvisor?
Yeah, so we knew we were coming up to Corralejo today, so I looked on TripAdvisor because the problem for us is we tend to eat lunch quite late. It's 3 o'clock now. And a lot of places shut at 3 and then reopen in the evening, or they're only open in the evening at the moment. But I found this place, an Italian, and I think we've struck gold.
Just show everybody what we chose. So they do this almost like a menu del dia, where you choose a pasta of the day and then like a second course and then a mixture of veg. So I've gone for this pumpkin pasta, meatballs, and then really nice little roasted veg.
I've got this as aubergine thing. And this is chicken.
Good description.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's
like
a well-known Italian dish, but it's made with aubergine. Yeah. And I've got chicken and mixed veg.
Looks good, and they've put loads of parmesan on.
But everything's behind a counter and everything's done fresh every day, and you can obviously see what you're choosing. It looked really good.
If you want to find this place, it's in the old town in Corralejo. It's actually next door to another little favourite restaurant of ours, Casa Manolo, which we've been to before and really enjoyed. So good little spot, really affordable. We haven't said what it's called. Where on earth are we?
Well, it's called Dauli. So D-A space U-L-I. I don't know what that means. It's obviously something in Italian. If anybody knows, tell us in the comments.
Another good spot.
I enjoyed every single mouthful. It was really good. Very tasty. Good spot this one.
You'd think at some point one of these days we might actually have something negative to say about a place, but it hasn't happened yet, has it?
We do our research, don't we? So like I looked on TripAdvisor yesterday, so I'll tend to kind of read through things rather than just turning up on spec.
Now we are the only people in here, so it is still very quiet here in Corralejo. There was still a reasonable choice though. There were quite a few different dishes that we could choose from on the combination plate, but I suspect if you came here once tourist season gets going again, there'd probably be an even wider choice. So yeah, definitely recommend this place. It's called Dauli. I'll put the name on the screen as well. Give it a try if you're in Corralejo.
So something new's arrived in Corralejo. We've not seen them here before, and I was speaking to a guy who works for the company earlier, and they've just arrived yesterday. They're Link scooters.
They look like good fun. We've used these before in various different cities, like a lot of American cities, but also they had them in Seville, didn't they, when we went there?
Yeah, different brands, but same idea. So you basically download an app, and then when you're ready to use the scooter, you use the app to access it, and then it charges you, I think, by the minute.
We've just signed up on the app. They've got a promo at the moment, so they give you €5 credit when you add a payment method, and there's also some promo codes attached to each of the scooters for an extra €10 as well. So we've got like €15 worth of free credit, so we might as well give them a bit of a try.
The thing that's good about these apps for these sorts of scooters is that they'll tell you the locations of scooters, so if you can't see one visually with your own eyes, you can find them on a map. And we've done that before. We've used them in California mostly, haven't we? So we did it when we were in San Diego. So they're brand new, so this will be like their Virgin mission.
You just have to remember to end the ride when you've finished, and there's sort of different parking zones on the app that are like safe spaces to park.
14 minutes.
So how much was yours for 14 minutes?
€2.80.
So
of course it was nothing because we already had €15.
Yeah, and it says it's carbon neutral, and we've still got probably enough for another 4 or 5 free rides, I'd say, with the credit that we've got. So I'll leave the promotional code in the description. We don't get anything out of it, but just in case there's no leaflets on these, if you come to Corralejo and want to ride them, the promo code, I don't know how long it lasts for, but hopefully it'll be a while.
They're very easy to ride as well. If I can do it, anybody can. And also they're quick. But,
they are pretty quick.
There's no speedo on them. The ones we've ridden before have told you how fast you go, and these don't. But,
I'm not sure as well. It might say on the app about the battery level, because there's no indicator on these. Some of the others, it'll show you how much battery's left in them before you unlock it. But it seemed to go through a process on the app to tell you whether it was safe to ride or not. But yeah, they're pretty quick. We've been on faster ones, I think, but they do still feel pretty quick.
Yeah, I think in a busier city, it's probably just as well they don't go too quick, because I think when it is busier here, if more people are using them, it could be absolute chaos.
Yeah, they have got a little bell on this side, so you can let people know that you're coming. But I'd say for anywhere on the island, Corralejo is the place to do it because there's so many bike lanes here.
Yeah.
It's a really, friendly way of doing it. It's not like you've got to weave in and out of people or go on the pavement or even the main road. So the setup for it here is ideal. So give it a go. little usual spots on the beach just to sit and chill out for a few minutes and have a little catch up and a chat with you. So
I have to say the beach is the busiest I've seen it in a long time.
it is pretty busy. The weather's very nice actually. Yeah. It's warm but it's not too hot. There's live music back in a lot of the bars now, which is good to see.
I know what you mean when you give me a flash of that smile. You're on the inside.
We're down to like level 1, which is the lowest level here on the island. So a lot less restrictive in terms of what bars and restaurants can put on in terms of entertainment, which is good. But the UK traffic light system, I think, was unveiled, it was yesterday. Spain is amber at the moment, and I know that there was talk that they might split out the islands, which I think is still a possibility. But at the moment there are still restrictions into Spain from the UK, so those are in place until the end of May. So I think it makes sense for now that Spain is amber. It's probably going to go green some point in June, I would have thought, and then holidays can start up again.
I think if they separate out the Canary Islands, which has been proposed and I think was going to happen, so I'm surprised it hasn't, I think we would be green already because the numbers here are very low now and very stable. So we'll see what happens. As Amelia said, you can't actually come here at the moment anyway because Spain's borders are closed to the UK. So, but I think they'll be lifted soon as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real justification for keeping that going now, particularly with the success of the vaccine programme and stuff in the UK and the numbers there. So it's only a matter of time, I would say, before that's lifted.
On the subject of travel, I've recently got myself a new British passport, so I wanted to talk about that a little bit, just in case people don't realise that the rules have changed since Brexit, which is why I've got myself a new passport, because I actually had 12 months left on my old one. But now, since Brexit, you have to have at least 6 months on your passport before it expires to travel within the EU. And we've got a couple of big trips planned later in the year, September and then December, to the US, and we've got to travel in and out of mainland Spain. So I didn't want to risk it trying to get it changed between those two trips, because according to the UK passport website there was an 11-week period that it would take to get a new passport.
Didn't take that long though.
But it didn't take that long.
Which
no.
is good.
It is good, I'm not complaining.
Especially from here, because the post here is pretty terrible.
Yeah, it literally took a month, so I was very surprised and happy about that. But also it's quite an easy process because it's all done online. Even your photograph, you can just do a digital photo with your phone. You haven't got to go to a photo booth or anything like that. So it was a very easy application process. And I was amazed that I got it within a month.
So I think the thing to remember on this is that if you've previously renewed a passport, they used to give you extra months, didn't they, if you renewed it early? Those extra months don't count. It has to be 6 months from the original 10-year validity. So check your passports. A lot of people haven't travelled for a long time. You don't want to get caught out at the airport being told you can't board a flight to the EU because your passport's not going to be valid.
And you can apply for a new passport whenever you want. There used to be a rule that it had to be within 3 months of expiry, but that doesn't apply anymore. Like I said, mine had a year to go. So
we've held off sort of doing little mini trips until your passport was back, but now that it's back we might hop over to Tenerife at some point. If anybody's got any suggestions for any of the other islands, we did La Palma, didn't we, last year?
We did, and we really enjoyed that.
We did Lanzarote around Christmas just for a couple of days. If you have been to any of the other Canary Islands and you've got some recommendations for us, let us know in the comments, because we are going to be putting together a little trip probably in the next, certainly the next 4 weeks or so, I think, if we can do it. That's it really for today. We need to head back because I've got to finish all this DIY.
Yeah, get on with it. So you've got a little treasure trove going on over there. What have you got?
The wine is my reward for when it's finished, so I need to get on and get this.
You won't be having that for a while then.
These are what I needed, because I've been like some sort of contortionist in that kitchen cupboard trying to tighten the taps up. So I've now got a nice little socket that I can get in and sort out, and the bits that I needed for the rain. So another hour or two and we should have a working sink again. we'll see you next week for another video.
See you next time.
Bye.